Welcome back, risers. Welcome to an episode of Phoenix Rising Enterprises. It's your host, Veronica Nicole. I hope you guys are doing great today. I feel a little bit more comfortable. Every time I do a video, I feel a little bit more comfortable speaking and not so nervous about what I sound like and if you guys actually enjoy the content because I know this is coming from a very sincere, very transparent place. So I hope you guys really enjoy it because I definitely enjoy sharing. Okay. And so let's start with a topic that I want to cover about barriers that block self love. Okay. We never think about it that way. Like a barrier, we have a barrier that blocks self love. Yes, there's certain things that we practice that are not healthy that block ourselves from loving ourselves properly. Not someone else, but loving ourselves first. Because we need these things to be able to properly love other people. Okay? So the first one, it's called perfectionism. Okay? So perfectionism is when you strive to be perfect. You always want to end up feeling like you're not a failure. You always want to be considered perfect. And we all know, even spiritually, that we're told that no one is perfect, only the creator, right? So perfectionism is definitely a barrier to block self-love. Second one is judgment. Judgment is when you judge yourself. You're nailing yourself to the cross. You're keeping a tally of all of your mistakes, failings, and imperfections. That's not healthy. We're human. We're subjected to make mistakes, right? We do things. We learn through trial and error. It's just a part of being a human being. So that's another blockage of self-love. Also, guilt. If you live and people live in guilt, I know I practiced it for years. Most of my life I was guilty. I feel so guilty about what I did or what I've said. Now, it's okay to have a level of conviction because you do want to self-reflect and say, look, I did A, B, and C, and D, but let me forgive myself and not do that again. But when you're living in guilt, you're considering yourself a human, emotional, everlasting bag. You're beating yourself up about things that are out of your control. So living in guilt is also a part of the block from self-love. Also, comparison. Comparison is a really good one, okay? So comparison is you're comparing yourself to other things, other people. You're giving yourself an emotional beat down because you're too worried about the next person's accomplishments or whatever they're doing, and you want to compare yourself to someone else instead of seeing where you are and appreciating it. And if it's something that you really want to obtain, then you work hard till you get to that place instead of comparing yourself to someone else. And that is a block of self-love. Another is feelings of unworthiness. Now, this is a really deep one. I think that we all have experienced moments of feeling unworthy. And that's not healthy. Who says that you're not worthy of love? You are worthy of love, but it starts with you. Do you love yourself? And if you do, you most definitely are worthy, not unworthy. Okay. And so I think that these things, it doesn't seem like much, right? It seems really minor, These are things we all deal with. This is just being a human being. But no, they're not healthy. They're not healthy to practice these things, okay? And then we have one more that's unhealthy, okay? And it doesn't seem like it's much, and people don't even think like this. It's called emotional regression. Excuse me. Emotional regression, or emotions or feelings are unconsciously avoid. They're different from feelings you actively push aside because they overwhelm you. Regress emotions can lead to health problems as well. You're ignoring your feelings. You're ignoring these issues that you know that are going on instead of actually dealing with them head on when it happens. You don't want to prolong those emotions because it makes the situation so much worse. Because in the end, you still got to avoid it, right? I mean, you still got to address it. My apologies. You still have to address it. You can't run from these issues. That's a part of being a healthy person. Addressing the issues head on, and the sooner, the better. Okay? So this is going to be a session today. We're discussing the barriers that block self-love and exactly what we can do to tackle and be able to annihilate and destroy each of those blocks and rebuild it with self love. Let's take a look. All right, so let's move forward into the first definition, which was the perfectionism. Um, Perfectionism, I think, is something that we all do. I think we all do it. I think we all have these traits and we think nothing of it, right? We say, look, I'm striving to be better every day and I want to gain a level of success and perfection. It's not healthy, okay? I can say I am a continuing recovering perfectionist. I used to believe that being a perfectionist was a really good thing, but it's not. You want to have a high quality of motivation for yourself. Say you have a project you've taken over and you want to work on this project and make this project successful, but yet you're allowing yourself to become negative, stressed, filled with anxiety, filled with ego. These are not healthy traits. And I'm going to talk about myself first. Once I began to realize that I was utilizing these unhealthy practices of perfectionism and how I was doing my best to strive for perfection out of the lack of self worth on my end, I really started to chisel and chip away at that and started to rebuild myself in a healthy way. And it takes time. This is not something that can happen overnight, but the first step is to at least acknowledge or address that you have these issues and that it's something that you're willing and you need to change. My striving for perfection wasn't the same as striving to do my best. It wasn't about achievement or personal growth. It was almost like I was trying to prove myself to maybe the world, and that is just not healthy. It was almost an armor or a protection against pain or blame or shame or judgment of others. Who knows exactly where it stemmed from? But perfectionism doesn't believe in practice shots. It doesn't believe in trial and error and improvements. Perfectionism it's hard for anything to go wrong. Anything you do that you don't like to your personal liking, it's the worst thing in the whole entire world. Perfectionism strives on comparison and competition, and that's not healthy. We should be less hard on ourselves. People judge, people beat us up, people try to make us feel bad. And guess what? We do enough of that on our own. We do that enough ourselves, We abuse ourselves. We keep a long tally, a laundry list of things that we do wrong, what we should have done, what we shouldn't have done, and we put it under a microscope and we just dissect it, in bite-sized pieces. And these are traits that are not good. We're going to have to begin to really work on that because it's definitely a lifestyle of self-sabotage. Or in society like social media and commercials and celebrities, they're suffering so terribly because they're under the public eye to be considered perfect. It creates an ego mindset. Learning that pleasing other people determines how we're treated. And that's not healthy. We should be treated with a level of respect just because, off the bat. Right? Unless we do something otherwise to be considered like we don't deserve that level of respect. But off the bat, who are we to have to live a lifestyle that's considered AKA perfect to get treated a certain way? When you perform well, you're rewarded. It makes you feel good. But when you make a mistake, you're chastised, you're spanked. It makes you feel bad. So now automatically, you're already building these roots that I must be perfect to be treated a certain way. So here we go. Here are these character traits. Here are these attributes. Here are these issues that you already have birthed within you. And you're going to take this on as an adult, as a woman, as a man, as a wife, as a husband, as a child, as a coworker, as an employee, as an employer. So it's important to address them because if not, the roots dig so deep that it'll almost be impossible to uproot them because it'll be there so long. We'll be set in our ways. We'll be hard as stone. All right. So let's move forward to perfectionism to transformation. Because, like I said earlier, these things take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But the first step is actually acknowledging it. Like, you know what? Oh my God. Maybe I am displaying these attributes. Maybe this is something I'm doing. Maybe I should stop. You're getting somewhere, right? That's a good thing. We're actually acknowledging it. Now let's try to address it and get this stuff worked out of us, because some of this stuff has been in there since childhood. So it's kind of deeply rooted. So the quest for perfection is never ending. It's never ending. You'll do it till the day you take your last breath, right? And that's just how it goes. But ultimately, if you're trying to be perfect, it's just going to lead to pain, and it's going to lead to failure over and over and over again, because it's not attainable. It's not humanly possible. So it's like you're on this hamster wheel, and you wonder why you're racing and going and going, and you never seem to achieve a level of success that you want, yet you are successful. People look around and see that you have this great career, you have this great home, you have the car you drive, the money and the family, you have it. To the naked eye, it looks great. But if you're not happy within yourself, then there we go. We have this never-ending quest that will never be obtained for perfectionism. Life isn't about living from one mountaintop to the next. From valley to valley, and it's just too much. Society has brainwashed us, so to speak, like sheeple, to focus on perfectionism. This is why social media and things, the flip side to it, so to speak, is you got all these people on here posting. They're posting on Instagram. They're posting on TikTok. They're posting on Facebook. They're posting on these social platforms. And it looks so perfect. And everyone's focusing on a certain goal. We're not being authentic. We're not being true to ourselves, right? And that's just not healthy. Our imperfections are what make us different. It makes us who we are. It's unique. God made us that way for a reason. And we should walk in it and wear it as a badge of honor and be proud. The need to be perfect doesn't allow us an opportunity to actually grow and learn and be ourselves and flourish and learn from our mistakes. Learning from our mistakes is a gift from God, because when you learn, you're better than before. For growth to occur, really, we have to be able to move past shame and guilt and see the lesson on the mistake that we made. And admitting the failure means we're taking responsibility for choices and actions that we took that we didn't learn from. And then we learn from it. Okay? So this is something that we should actually, after you've ran through the whole day, you've got up 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning to start your day and head out for work or head out for school to take care of your responsibilities. When it's time to rest for the evening, do a mental overview, right? Do an overview and just pat yourself on the back and say, I'm proud of myself. I didn't get this done today, but we'll tackle it tomorrow. I didn't do this, but I can do it. I can try to accomplish it another day. Always build yourself up internally and externally. And you don't need someone else to do it. Let's start with us first. If we actually do it to ourselves every day and make it a lifestyle to say, you know what, I'm amazing. I'm Superman. I'm Superwoman. I'm Supermom. I'm Superchild. I'm amazing. And no, you're not being proud and vain and egotistical. What you're doing is you're already building those blocks of self-esteem by saying, you know what, I didn't get this done, but guess what? If I'm blessed to see another day, we'll just tackle it tomorrow, right? Because I did my best. There's no way to genuinely, powerfully, or truly love yourselves without crafting a mask of perfection. Okay? So, we've covered that. Now we're going to move forward into some more building blocks it takes to begin to practice killing and putting away perfectionism so that we can move on to the next building blocks that it takes to be able to really work hard on building self-love. And the next one will be judgment. But the next one, judgment, will be in our next video. I can talk. I know. I can talk. I talk a lot. So I said that's why I was going to do a YouTube channel, because, you know, people get irritated like, oh, you're so long-winded. I say, you know what? It's a gift then. Let's just do it and upload it and have this to help people. People are hurting. People are lost. People need direction, and they're getting wrong information, right? And so I felt like, you know, it's my due diligence to get out here and give people what they need, and as well as myself, because all this starts with me first. I'm not just telling you guys this to, you know, like I'm trying to help the world. I'm all put together. This is something I work on every single day. Every day of my life, I have to work out on these traits that's going to make me whole, mind, body, and soul. Okay? But I hope you've enjoyed today's message. And I really am excited about next video, which will be covering judgment, which is another barrier to the block of self-love. But today, I've covered perfectionism, and we will definitely kind of pick up a little bit more on how we can kind of alleviate it all together, and then we'll move into judgment. But thank you so much, guys, for viewing. Please like, comment, share, and I'll do better on this video. The last one, it was like 7-8 minutes of embarrassingly blank screen. I'm like, what in the world? Come on. But I'm learning. So see what I'm saying? Perfectionism. Who cares? I made a mistake. It happens, right? Better next time. Okay? So take care, risers. Be blessed. Bye-bye.